This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
A neighborhood that has seen more than its fair share of struggles, violence, and neglect is turning things around itself. Now at 5 o'clock, their efforts have pulled a community together.
Police searching for the person who shot 6 people in the heart of downtown over the weekend. Working for you, we find out how the city and police are responding to keep you safe.
Plus, our Classroom to Career series looks at how programs are helping students get ready for life after the classroom. This morning, our Aaron list shows us how students can save time and money with dual credit degrees. It is 5 o'clock here on your Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrett.
And I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is with us this morning to talk about our forecast. And it's a little bit chilly as you step outside today.
Yeah, it's cool.
Feels good.
Seasonable. It's a nice, refreshing change from where we've been. It's been so warm. Everybody's been, where's fall-like weather? Where's the fall-like weather? Well, this morning, if you haven't walked out the door yet or you didn't have the windows open when you went to sleep last night, it definitely feels like fall out there this morning. When the sun comes up, though, you'll definitely need the sunglasses. And some of you may want to have the light jacket handy here briefly this morning until the sun comes up, because once that sun does get above the horizon, it is going to warm very, very quickly for us. But down to 47 already in Crawfordsville, 51 in Greencastle, Bloomington 52 degrees, 53 as you work your way to the north, and Greensburg's down to 49 as well. So those temperatures likely going to go down another couple degrees here this morning before they start to moderate heading into the middle half of the morning and eventually the afternoon. Skies are completely clear, a little bit of patchy fog near Lafayette, but that is about it. There is no precipitation in the forecast for the day today. So get out there and enjoy from the 40s and 50s this morning into the low 70s already by the noon hour, and then high temperatures today will be topping off in the mid to upper 70s.
Todd, thank you so much. We're keeping a close eye on traffic this morning as you're heading out the door. Take a look here near the downtown area, Meridian Street and I-70. That entire ramp system that is closed until Friday morning. They're working on some winter road damage repairs in that area, so you'll need to take Harding Street or West Street as your detours throughout the week. Over here on the west side, ongoing construction here at the ramp system, westbound I-74 at I-465, but traffic on the west side is still moving along up to speed. And let's take a look at it near the airport, I-70 here near the airport ramps. You can see lots of headlights out that way this morning. Traffic is still traveling up to speed in both directions. We'll continue to keep a close eye out for any delays and keep you updated. Well, it is an area that's faced struggles here in Indianapolis, violence and neglect, but now one neighborhood is turning things around all on its own.
And the hard work being done from within is now getting recognition. Our Alyssa Donovan is here this morning. Alyssa, the Far East Side Community Council received an award for the work they're doing to improve their neighborhood, and this is much deserved.
That's right, and it's something that they received, and it's from the Indianapolis Neighborhood Resource Center. It's called the Collaborative Spirit Award. The award is a major accomplishment, and those involved say it's going to fuel continued change. The Far East Community Council has worked hard to be the voice for the community and make a difference. The grassroots organization spearheading a festival several months ago to provide resources to people on the East Side. The East Side Festival brought together 50 organizations and showed the city what the area has to offer. The council says this wasn't all them. There are a lot of other groups working to improve the area.
A lot of organizations, there's a lot of individuals, and they all have the Far East Side at their heart. So they're really pushing to have a better Far East Side and a better city overall.
The Far East Side Council work includes discussing solutions to end gun violence, ending food deserts, hosting back to school and toy drives. The council also works to build relationships with city leaders to make sure the voices from the neighborhood are heard.
I've yet to hear anybody step up and say that this is unacceptable in Indianapolis.
Well, meanwhile, the president of the Central Indiana Fraternal Order of Police wants to know where's the outrage after another violent weekend here in Indianapolis. Rick Snyder with FOP Lodge 86 is calling out community leaders and politicians after that downtown shooting that left 6 people injured. Police are still looking for the person of interest in that shooting, and Snyder is concerned that people are growing numb to the acts of violence, no matter what kind of weapon is used.
We had a total of 10 people shot in Indianapolis over the weekend, just over the weekend alone. And it's not just shootings, it's stabbings, it's violence. You know, people talk about we have a gun violence problem. We keep saying it's not a gun violence problem, it's a people violence problem.
IMPD's downtown district captain says they're going to revisit the distribution of their patrols and other resources like mobile cameras. Investigators believe the downtown shooting began with a disturbance between two groups of young people near the Circle Center Mall.
Metro police are trying to learn more surrounding a shooting victim who showed up at a local hospital. The man showed up at Eskenazi around 9:30 last night with a gunshot wound. This morning he's in critical condition. Police say they have not determined where the shooting happened. The Howard County Sheriff's Office is making changes after several inmates died by suicide this year.
Call 6 Investigates has talked with family members who say the jail could have done more to protect their loved ones. Nakasha King and Sarah Castile died back in March. Casey Rodruck died on September 18th. All 3 inmates were inmates in the Howard County Jail. Keep in mind the state of Indiana typically has about 8 to 12 suicides for the entire state in a year. We asked the Howard County Sheriff's Department for a copy of their suicide prevention policy. We've not received that just yet. However, the sheriff says they've implemented several changes. They created signage in each housing unit that has a free hotline to reach a mental health advocate. They adjusted their shift change procedure to create more officer-inmate contact. They will begin implementing a crisis intervention team training for all medical personnel and correctional supervisors. And lastly, they contracted with a full-time mental health specialist who started this month.
A new update all the way from Rome in the conflict between Brebeuf Jesuit Preparatory School and the Archdiocese of Indianapolis. A Vatican office has suspended for now the Archdiocese's decision to revoke Brebeuf's recognition as a Catholic institution. The decision came back in June when the school refused the Archdiocese order to fire a teacher who is in a same-sex marriage. The school reached out to the Vatican's Congregation for Catholic Education, asking the office to rescind or set aside the decree. In a letter posted on the school's website, Brebeuf's president says the Archbishop's decree has been suspended for now, pending a resolution of the school's appeal. This means Brebeuf will be able to resume its normal sacramental celebrations.
Here at 506, students at IUPUI are getting the chance to get 2 degrees without any additional time or money. The Indiana University School of Liberal Arts at IUPUI has launched the new program, and our own Aaron Lish is live outside of the school. And Aaron, tell us exactly how does this work?
So this is with the Dual Degree Advantage program. It's through the IU School of Liberal Arts, and how it works is students can actually add a second degree in liberal arts to complement their first one, and this is all done in that traditional 4-year time period. And how it works is they will actually waive that baccalaureate competencies for students whose first major is in another IUPUI school, and again, the second is in liberal arts. You have to, of course, meet all the requirements for both degrees and complete them at the same time. And this is really only for IUPUI students who are getting a degree for the first time. The purpose is to make these students stand out after college with 2 degrees, a full skill set in both soft and technical. And talking with the dean and the current students, they say this shows employers the ability of critical thinking, leadership, intensive research skills, and cultural understanding.
These combinations create not only opportunities for students to go out into the workforce with the skills they need to succeed, but they'll carry these skills with them all the way through their careers.
It's phenomenal. It is allowing me the opportunity to both major in liberal arts classical studies and biology and be able to graduate within 4 years, which is fantastic.
So majors in liberal arts include things like geography, journalism, philosophy, and medical sociology. So, for example, if you are getting a degree at the Purdue, the Purdue of Science, and then getting something from the liberal arts of IU, you are going to be graduating with 2 degrees from 2 different universities. Pretty neat concept, and we're going to actually hear from one of those students in the next half hour a little bit about how this is helping her to prepare for her life after her bachelor's degree. But for now, back to you in the studio.
Aaron, thank you very much, and you and your family can learn more about post-graduation options at the National College Fair. It's happening today at the Indiana Convention Center. You can connect with hundreds of colleges and universities universities. The fair is happening from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and the entire thing is free. You can get a head start by registering at gotomyncf.com. It's 5:08, Todd, and it is cold out there this morning.
Yeah, a little chilly here this morning. Maybe for some of you, it's just a big difference from where we've been with those temperatures that were running well above normal throughout much of the entire month. We've made the dip now back down into the 50s, and for some of you this morning, even down into the 40s. But the good news is, as we get going here, our temperatures are going to warm very, very quickly throughout the day today, and we'll hover right around 59 degrees throughout much of the morning, and then once the sun gets a little higher above the horizon, up to 60 degrees by 8 a.m., and then we'll continue to see those temperatures moderate very quickly from that point forward throughout the remainder of the day. So skies are clear anywhere you go all across central Indiana this morning. It's going to be a sun-filled day for us from start to finish, and with that sunshine, we are going to see our temperatures really moderate. We're looking at highs today that'll be in the upper 70s across most of the area. A couple locations down to the south will hit the 80-degree mark, but honestly, we're all in the same air mass together today. There's not much going on. Everybody has sunshine. Everybody has low humidity. Everybody has light winds, and that means our temperatures are not really going to differ much anywhere you go. So get out there and enjoy the sunshine. More on the changes midweek coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Two cars slam into a north side building, causing parts of it to collapse. Straight ahead, what authorities say led up to this startling scene.
Plus, the number of deaths linked to vaping continues to rise after the break, where authorities are investigating the latest death.
And want to take a live look right now at traffic. This is I-70 near the airport ramps to our west. You can see traffic there is moving along smoothly, both eastbound and westbound. No crashes to slow you down. Stick around. We'll be right back after this short break.
Airing Hoosiers only on RTV6.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Good morning to you down here in Greenwood, I-65 near the Main Street exit. Traffic is traveling up to speed both northbound and southbound through Johnson County. No issues here to slow you down.
Crews will demolish the dangerous part of a building hit by two vehicles just before noon yesterday. Investigators say a car and a truck plowed into the building at East 22nd Street and North College Avenue, causing part of the building to collapse. One person inside the truck was hurt. Fire crews searched the building but did not find anyone else. IFD says part of the unsafe building will be the unsafe part of the building will be demolished. We're waiting to learn when that will happen to the rest of the building.
At 5:14, a Fort Riley, Kansas-based U.S. Army soldier is accused of sending vehicle and cell phone bomb-making instructions over social media. 24-year-old Private Jarrett Smith is charged with a count of distributing information related to explosives and weapons of mass destruction. According to court documents, he suggested CNN would be a target for a vehicle bomb. Smith also named 2020 Democratic candidate Beto O'Rourke as a target. He also discussed targeting cell phone towers or a local news station and leftist group Antifa. The FBI used an undercover agent and a confidential source to investigate him.
Another vaping-related death brings the number nationwide to 9. The governor of Kansas says a man over the age of 50 recently died after an illness linked to vaping. Governor Laura Kelly says the man also had underlying health conditions. Several others have fallen ill from vaping in the state. The CDC says there have been 530 cases of lung injury related to e-cigarettes. Officials say one person in Indiana has died in connection to a vaping-related illness.
At 5:15, the Democratic National Committee is raising polling and donor thresholds for qualifying for the party's 2020 presidential primary debates. Those changes go into effect for the 5th presidential debate that's going to be held in November. The changes could soon reduce the number of candidates on stage and effectively narrow the field. The candidates will now have to reach 3% in at least 4 DNC-approved polls of Democratic voters nationally, or in one of the 4 early voting states. There's also a new option. Candidates can reach at least 5% in 2 polls of the early voting states. Candidates will now have to raise money from 165,000 separate donors.
Today is the day when every American is reminded to do their civic duty. It's National Voter Registration Day. Every 4th Tuesday in November is set aside to let potential voters know they can register for upcoming elections. The unofficial holiday started back in 2012. More than 300,000 Americans registered to vote on the inaugural National Voter Registration Day. And the weather will be nice today, Todd, so people do not have an excuse not to go out and register to vote.
Yeah, absolutely. There's not a weather worry in the world here, honestly, throughout the day today. I guess our biggest issue is the potential for just a little bit of patchy fog, and we'll have to zoom in pretty close here to Tippecanoe County and then back into portions of Benton County where we have a little bit of patchy fog. It looks like this fog is mainly just east of 65, so 65 not really being impacted here this morning, but this reading is coming from the airport there in Lafayette, so it's fluctuating a little bit. When I first came in this morning, it was down to a quarter mile, so it's gotten a little bit better, but it's not out of the question that we could see some visibility issues pop up here this morning in spots up to the north. Here in downtown, no issues at all. Skies are clear. The temperature sits at 55 degrees, down 2 degrees from last hour. That dew point is at 51. The air is extremely dry out there, and that's one of the reasons why we may be able to cool it off here very quickly throughout the overnight hours, but it's also the reason why we will be able to warm it up very quickly once the sun comes up. 47 in Crawfordsville, 49 is the current temperature in Greensburg, but you notice a smattering of blues here in between Indianapolis as well as Tipton. Where you see the blues, that's where the temperatures are in the 40s. So it's definitely one of the cooler mornings we've seen in quite some time all across the area, and that's because, again, those skies are clear. The bigger picture shows just some fair weather clouds off to our west. Those will start to drift in here this afternoon, but overall, it is just a terrific day for us from start to finish. By far the best day of the week weather-wise for us. Yesterday we started off with the rain, and then it got great. Well, today it's just great from start to finish with sunny skies up to 72 already by the noon hour. As we work our way into the 6 o'clock hour, we should see our high temperature right around 76 degrees. This evening, Tuesday night, if you're going to be out for dinner or just maybe for a walk through the neighborhood, temperatures will fall back down into the 60s. And keep in mind, it gets dark earlier and earlier now. Sunset is before 7:40 this evening, and then overnight tonight, anywhere from 57 to 63 degrees. So not quite as cool tomorrow morning as it is this morning. So we'll call it mild out there. And then for the day tomorrow, we are looking at high temperatures once again in the upper 70s to right around 80 degrees in some locations. Tomorrow, though, there will be a front coming through in the afternoon hours, and that will give us the opportunity of maybe just a hit or miss shower across the area. Again, the air is very, very dry, so it's going to take a little while for any showers to try to get going. The better chance would be a few showers overnight Wednesday into Thursday, but nothing to write home about. Still in the 70s on Thursday, but then back up into the 80s Friday and through the weekend.
Todd, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on traffic as you head out the door on this Tuesday. And here's the live look right now at I-74 and State Road 267. This is near Ronald Reagan Parkway. It's looking like things are moving along up to speed. Camera freezing up just a bit, but traffic is traveling up to speed through that area. No delays. Taking a look at our traffic now map, a reminder for you as you're heading out the door near the downtown area. We do have this ramp system closed. Eastbound, westbound I-70 to Meridian Street, as well as Meridian Street to eastbound and westbound I-70. NDOT working on those ramps throughout the week to repair some damage. Those are set to reopen Friday morning, but avoid that area for now. Take Harding Street or West Street ramps as your detour to get in and out of downtown there on the south side of downtown. Let's take a turn right now up to Fishers. Good morning to you. This is I-69 near 106th Street. Traffic is moving along up to speed northbound and southbound. No crashes here to slow you down.
Apparently, this is the best week to buy a house. One economist calls it the Black Friday of home shopping. Here's how it breaks down. In the spring and summer, buyers with school-aged children are anxious to move and get settled before the school year starts. So many people who haven't bought a home by mid-September typically put the move off. In 41 of the 53 metropolitan areas tracked by Realtor.com, the last week in September is expected to offer some of the most ideal buying conditions of the year. The site says at this time of the year, nearly 6% of the homes on the market have had a price reduction. All right, good to know.
All right, well, if you're a cat person, you probably already know this. Cats really do bond with their people. They just don't always show it. Researchers at Oregon State University studied human attachment behavior between babies and parents, and then they translated that study to dogs, primates, and now cats and kittens. Their findings show that cats' bonds with people were stable in adulthood and not just present in kittens. The study hopes to discover the different aspects of cat attachment behavior to help shelter cats feel more secure.
A high-end brand's products will soon pop up in a popular video game. The reason behind the odd collaboration still ahead this morning.
And this is a live look at I-74 on Acton Road to our southeast, where traffic's moving along just fine. It's 5:21. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The Judge.
It You may start to notice Louis Vuitton products popping up in the gaming world. The French designer has announced a partnership with Riot Games and will create items for the popular online game League of Legends. This is the latest deal in the growing trend as designers look for new digital audiences. Gamers can buy Louis Vuitton clothing within the game by using real money. The designer is also set to make a trophy case for the league's annual esports final, which will be held in Paris this November. Very interesting.
Well, Google is introducing its own subscription gaming service. Google Play Pass will give Android users access to more than 350 apps and games for just under $5 a month. Everything is ad-free, in-app purchases, and upfront payments. It'll cost about $4.99 per month, the same price as Apple Arcade. The move comes just days after the launch of Apple Arcade, which offers a catalog of more than 100 exclusive games. Both companies say the new additions will be made to the services each month.
Cows that can read and they like beer. Okay, so both of those are unlikely, but even so, a funny coincidence in Wisconsin. The brewery New Glarus, which makes spotted cow beer, got a late-night visit from the beer's namesake, a group of spotted cows. There, you see them in the corner of your screen. Here is the surveillance video with proof. 16 dairy cows walked into the parking lot of New Glarus Brewing Company early Monday morning for an apparent beer run before they were run off by the cops. Obviously, they're underage. Spotted Cow is a farmhouse ale that can only be purchased in the state of Wisconsin. So you can't find it anywhere else. When I worked in Madison, people would ask me to bring it. They said, "Can you stop
Traffic
up?
Get across state lines."
Yes. They said, "Fill up your trunk, please, and bring us some Spotted Cow." So if you've never had some, highly recommend it.
I've had it.
I've never had it, but I can't. I'm allergic to it.
Obviously.
But yes, my people tell me it's good.
Yes.
It is good. All right, outside right now, it's cool. You may want to grab the extra cup of coffee here this morning just to warm up a little bit as we're dipped down into the 40s in some locations. Despite the cool start this morning, we're back up to near 80 this afternoon with nothing but sunshine. Tomorrow, some small shower chances enter the forecast. Nothing to write home about. But then the weather headline will be the warmer temperatures again for the weekend with highs that'll be in the low to mid 80s.
Todd, thank you. After 8.5 years in office, Marion County Prosecutor Terry Curry says he's stepping down. Ahead on Good Morning Indiana, the reason behind his resignation.
And we're keeping a close eye on your morning commute. Here's a live look at US 31, a little south of 116th Street. Good morning to drivers in the Carmel area. Traffic here is picking up, as you can see, but everything is moving. It's 5:27. We'll be right back.
RTV6 is working for you.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
One person is dead after being hit by a vehicle on the east side. The very latest from police on that investigation.
And a surprise announcement from the Marion County Prosecutor, why Terry Curry says he's stepping down. But first, here at 5:30 on your Tuesday morning, we want to get to the weather.
Yeah, and it is a little bit cooler as you step out the door this morning, so we want to check in with Todd Clausen and see what it's really like out there. Hey, Todd.
You know, it's cool out there with temperatures in the 40s and 50s. I liked it when I walked out the door. But some of you may want to have the light jacket as you get going here on this Tuesday morning. But once the sun comes up, obviously you'll need the sunglasses, but that sunshine will also help to warm us up pretty quickly, and you're good to go for your outdoor workout. You do not need the umbrella today, as there'll be hardly a cloud in the sky. One little minor problem up in and around the Wabash there in Lafayette and Tippecanoe County. Visibility reduced just a little bit, and some minor visibility issues here over near Terre Haute. Otherwise, no issues here in central Indiana. But if you're traveling in those areas, just be aware of that. And here are those temperatures. 40s right now in Greensburg, as well as Crawfordsville. Zionsville's in the 40s as well. 53 in Tipton. The city running a little bit warmer right now at 55 degrees. But as you see on their satellite radar picture, there is nothing going on across the entire state of Indiana, and that will lead to lots of sunshine throughout the day. So we warm quickly this morning from the 40s and 50s to 73 degrees by the noon hour, with our eventual high temperature this afternoon, Lauren, getting up to 79 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much for keeping a close eye on traffic this morning. And here's a live look on the northwest side of town, I-65 at Lafayette Road. You can see traffic there is moving along just fine in the northbound and southbound lanes. As you're heading near the downtown area, though, we want to take a look at our map. map. This is a ramp system closure that will be in effect till Friday morning. Want to keep in mind I-70 and Meridian Street here near the South Split. That's all the ramp directions heading onto Meridian Street and then heading onto the interstate. So keep that in mind. Use Harding Street and West Street as detours to get in and out of the downtown area. Now let's take a look up on the north side. I-465 at Michigan Road. Traffic here is moving along just fine on the interstate, both eastbound and westbound. We'll continue to keep you updated on any issues.
A woman is dead after being hit by a vehicle on the city's east side. The crash happened around 9 last night on the 1100 block of North Rural Street. Police believe the woman was in the street when she was hit by a driver. She was pronounced dead at the scene. If you have any information about this crash, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers. A Marion man reported missing 2 weeks ago has been found dead. According to the Grand County Sheriff's Department, 64-year-old Henry Schneider's body was found near a wooded area in eastern Grant County yesterday. A silver alert was issued for him back on September 15th. Police have not released any additional details at this time. Marion County Prosecutor Terry Curry announced he is stepping down to focus on his health. Curry made the surprise announcement yesterday, saying he's battling advanced prostate cancer.
And so at this point, I'll rely upon my family, my faith, my friends, and the world-class medical treatment at the IU Simon Cancer Center to address my health going forward. And with all that going for me, I am completely upbeat about where life leads from here.
Curry was joined by his family and members of his office during the emotional announcement. He mentioned his office's work pushing for a state hate crime bill and sensible gun regulation. Curry's time in office included two of the most notorious criminal cases in the state. The convictions of 3 people behind the deadly 2012 Richmond Hill explosion and the 2013 conviction of former IMPD officer David Bissard, who was intoxicated when he hit and killed a motorcyclist. Curry took over as prosecutor in 2010 and was reelected in 2014 and 2018. Before that, he was deputy prosecutor for 6 years. Chief Trial Deputy Ryan Mears will serve as interim prosecutor. Since Curry is a Democrat, the Marion County Democratic Party will have 30 days to select his replacement. That person will serve as prosecutor through the end of 2020. Terry Curry says he is going to stay with the prosecutor's office as deputy prosecutor with the grand jury.
The time right now is 5:34. The Far East Side, it's faced struggles like violence or neglect for years now.
But now the neighborhood is being recognized. The Far East Side Community Council receiving an award for the work it's doing to improve the area. Our Alyssa Donovan is here. And Alyssa, there is a specific event that made a big difference.
That's right. Earlier this year, the Far East Side Community Council put on the East Side Festival. It was an opportunity for people to see what the area has to offer. The festival brought dozens of vendors to the neighborhood. It was a way to bring people together and show the great things that the East Side has. It was also a way to share critical resources that some in the community may not have known were available. The Indianapolis Neighborhood Resource Center took notice of the event, saying it's exactly the kind of work they want to recognize with the Collaborative Spirit Award.
When you think about the Far East Side, a lot of times the area gets painted in a negative way, and this was an opportunity for residents to say, no, we're here, we care, and we've brought together 50 vendors from across the Far East Side and parents and children and groups that really care about the community.
Along with the festival, the council also works on several other issues on the East Side, like gun violence and food deserts. People involved in the Far East Side Council say the award is great recognition of the work they're doing, but there's a lot more to be done.
Alyssa, thank you. The city of Muncie is facing a lawsuit after a former informant claims that he was the victim of excessive force by police. 35-year-old Danny Terry filed the lawsuit in federal court last month. It says that he assisted Muncie police in September of 2017 in the investigation of a Muncie officer suspected of trafficking controlled substances. While at the target's home, Terry says officers ordered him to lie face down and then they stomped on the back of his head. He suffered a serious brain infection because of the injury and now he has brain damage. Terry is a convicted drug dealer and currently is serving a 16-year prison sentence. He alleges the city was negligent, used excessive force, and violated his constitutional rights. Attorneys representing the city of Muncie released a statement saying, quote, the city of Muncie disputes Mr. Terry's allegations and his credibility. He resisted the reasonable commands of law enforcement, and we are confident the facts and evidence will support such a determination, end quote. The federal authorities are reportedly investigating the Muncie Police Department for police brutality.
For the second time this month, Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb is on an international trip to drum up business benefiting Hoosiers. He and a group of business leaders arrived in China yesterday. They'll spend several days there, then move on to India. While they're there, Holcomb will also get to watch the Pacers play the Sacramento Kings in the first NBA game ever held there.
Time right now is 5:37. Hundreds of General Motors workers from 2 Indiana plants will picket together as that nationwide strike continues into day 9. Employees from the Kokomo and Marion plant will meet in Marion to show solidarity in the union's push for higher wages and better benefits. Other GM workers in Fort Wayne are also on strike. Some say they're finding strength in the union workers' solidarity.
I don't know as far as money-wise, like how long I could last or go on, but I'm still going to fight and I'll still be out here.
The UAW says they've made some progress with negotiations, but a deal has not been reached. The workers will receive strike pay of $250 a week should they hit the 15-day mark. But for many workers, it's a drastic cut from their weekly pay.
There's an opportunity for students at IUPUI to get 2 degrees without having to fork over more money or time. The IU School of Liberal Arts has a new program to support students, getting them from classroom to career and making them stand out to employers. Our Aaron Lish is live outside the school. Aaron, what does this program entail?
So this is the Dual Degree Advantage program, and it's really designed to position students up for success after graduation, just really giving them that leg up for those future careers. And students, they're really adding that this is broadening their college experience.
It's phenomenal. It is allowing me the opportunity to both major in liberal arts classical studies and biology.
Through the Dual Degree Advantage program at IUPUI, students like Jocelyn Blackburn can get 2 degrees without any additional expenses or time.
I have to graduate within 4 years in order to pursue med school and in order to make sure that I'm not spending a ton of extra money.
How this works is the IU School of Liberal Arts baccalaureate competencies are waived for students whose first major is in another IUPUI school.
This program allows students to combine both a practical career-focused college experience with an opportunity to follow their passions.
And that's exactly what Blackburn is doing. Plus, what she's learning will support her future career in medicine.
So definitely what I've learned in my classical studies classes will translate perfectly to the real world and perfectly to my career path as hopefully a physician one day.
So they have really a long list of different majors people can pick from the liberal arts school. You can also see there, communication studies, French, geography, journalism, philosophy. So there's plenty of options for students if they want to go into this program. We're going to have a little bit more in the next half hour, but for now, back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you there, Aaron. As you walk out the door here this morning, it's one of the cooler mornings that we've seen in quite some time. So you may want to have that light jacket handy as you get out and about. As some of you are in the 40s, most of us are in the 50s here this morning. But the thing is, throughout the duration of the morning drive here, the temperatures are going to hold pretty steady. So what you're walking out to the door to right now is basically the same temperature you'll have still at 8 a.m. So if you think it's chilly right now, have the jacket. If not, you should be okay throughout the morning hours. But notice how the temperatures do moderate very quickly once the sun comes up. We're around 70 degrees by 11 a.m. Then as we work our way throughout your lunch hour, we're talking about temperatures that'll be in the mid-70s. The wind will be light. The skies will be completely sunny. Should be a beautiful day throughout the entire day, as high temperatures eventually will be topping off in the upper 70s. It's right around 80 degrees wherever you go. So get out there, enjoy today. Tomorrow we bring some minor storm chances back into the forecast. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. President Trump Trump now being accused of holding aid to Ukraine before a controversial call with their president. Coming up, Trump's reaction to the questions over whistleblower reports continue.
And the FDA is recalling more blood pressure medications. Still ahead, why they're being pulled from pharmacy shelves.
And want to keep a close eye on your commute this morning. Here's I-65 near 21st Street on the north side. Traffic here is moving along up to speed. It's 5:41. We'll be right back after this short break.
About to fix it.
Welcome back. It is 5:44 on your Tuesday, and here's a live look at traffic on the northeast side. I-465 near I-69. Traffic's picking up. You can see by all the headlights there moving across your screen. Everything's traveling up to speed. No crashes here to slow you down.
President Trump is set to address world leaders today at the UN as questions continue to mount over whether he pressured the Ukrainian president to investigate Joe Biden in exchange for foreign aid. As President Trump gears up to address the United Nations General Assembly, he's still pushing back on that Wall Street Journal report, insisting he did nothing wrong by repeatedly asking Ukrainian President Zelensky to investigate his campaign rival Joe Biden. At the time of the call, the Trump administration was withholding $250 million in aid to Ukraine that Congress had already approved. Now, the Washington Post reports Trump ordered aides to freeze that aid just days before his conversation with Zelensky. Trump denies there was any quid pro quo.
I put no pressure on them whatsoever. I could have. I think it would probably, possibly have been okay if I did, but I didn't. I didn't put any pressure on them whatsoever.
Back in Washington, Republicans have been mostly silent on the matter, but a steady trickle of House Democrats are now lining up to support impeachment.
Here at 546, flights are being canceled to bring refugees here to the United States. A fiscal year 2020 moratorium is in place, but it's unclear why it's being enforced or when it will be lifted. Last year, President Trump set a refugee cap to 30,000, which is the lowest level since 1980. The administration is nearing that ceiling with more than 28,000 admitted as of last month.
The Federal Drug Administration is expanding a recall on blood pressure medication. 2 medications from Torrent Pharmaceuticals were found to potentially pose a cancer risk. The voluntary recall includes these 2 medications on your screen. This is related to a larger recall that has been expanded since July. It's important to talk to your doctor if you are taking either of these.
Well, multiple people have been rescued as parts of Arizona are underwater from monsoon rains. Crews had to rescue 5 people, including a mother and her child, from their vehicle. This morning, central Arizona is under a flash flood watch. The storm is expected to bring at least an inch or more of rain, along with hail and strong winds. Back here at home, we haven't seen a lot of rain this month, Todd, but we got a little bit yesterday. So what can we expect out there?
Yeah, and that was really needed rainfall. We were running well below normal. Essentially, no rain had fallen at the airport in Indianapolis until yesterday. We had only had 1/100th of an inch. Now we're up to 0.4 inches, so 0.4 of an inch. Still not a lot. We're still nearly 2 inches below where we should be for the entire month, but obviously what we got yesterday was very beneficial. I noticed my lawn perked up just a little bit with just that little bit of rainfall that we saw. So, man, keep an eye on visibilities for you here this morning. It was a lot lower in Lafayette. It's coming up to 2 miles. Essentially, if you're above 1 mile, you're in decent shape as far as visibilities on the roadways go. So, becoming less and less of an issue for you here this morning. But if you're up in Tippecanoe County, just be aware of that. So, looking at your weather headlines, it's a near perfect day today. The humidity is low, the sun will be shining, and temperatures today will be topping off in the upper 70s, and the winds will be light. You really can't find much of a flaw in the forecast for the day today. Small rain chances enter the forecast as we head into the day tomorrow, and then as we look ahead to the weekend, temperatures are really going to start to warm up. So kind of a little taste of fall here this morning temperature-wise as we're down into the 40s and 50s, but by the end of the week, if you're a fan of those warmer summer-like temperatures, they are definitely heading back in our direction. A pair of nickels officially at the airport in Indianapolis right now, 55 degrees. That dew point is low. The winds are out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour. So the areas you see in blue here, that's where the temperatures have dipped down into the 40s, even though you don't see the numbers of the readings there. But down to 47 in Crawfordsville. We're at 47 as well in Zionsville. I don't have that temperature on the map. It's 49 right now in Greensburg. Everybody else is in the 50s. So again, yeah, a little little cooler than it has been. Be aware of that as you walk out the door. You may take that first step out the door and just kind of turn around, walk right back in the door, grab the light jacket, because temperatures are going to hold pretty steady here until the sun comes up. And keep in mind now that the sun doesn't come up until well after 7:30, so it takes us a little while for us to start to warm and see those temperatures moderate. So skies are clear, some high thin clouds off to our west. They'll try to scoot in here as we work our way throughout the day today, but it'll be nothing more than a few high clouds, and that is just about it. And here is your temperature trend. 50s here through about 9 a.m. Then we make the jump into the 60s as the sun gets higher above the horizon. Then we quickly warm up into the 70s throughout the afternoon hours for you, making for that beautiful day. This evening temperatures will be in the 70s, falling into the 60s once the sun sets. And then overnight tonight, it's not quite as cool as it is right now. We're still getting into the 50s in a lot of the outlying areas, but should be right around 60 degrees for the overnight low temperature in Indianapolis. And then throughout the day tomorrow, there will be some minor shower chances in the forecast. And as we work our way into Thursday, some showers or maybe a few thunderstorms linger into the morning hours. Temperatures tomorrow and Thursday will still be in the 70s, but up to 83 degrees as we get into the day on Friday. And here are those rain chances tomorrow. Again, just a stray shower chance throughout the daytime hours. Tomorrow would be a quick little sprinkle if you saw it at all. Some better rain chances, especially for southern locations as we head into early Thursday morning. But once that front goes through, our temperatures do start to moderate once again. We're back up into the low to mid 80s for the weekend.
All right, Todd, we want to look at the ramp work we've been monitoring here since yesterday. It is I-70 and Meridian Street heading in and out of the downtown area. You'll need to take Harding Street and West Street until Friday as crews are doing some winter repairs in this area. Looking all the way ahead to Thursday between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. down here in Columbus, we do have ramp work, bridge inspections happening at I-65 and State Road 46 ramps. That's the southbound I-65 ramp to State Road 46 eastbound, northbound I-65 to State Road 46 westbound, and then we also have some lanes on State Road 46 that are going to be blocked off during the daytime, so just a heads up to that. Again, that is set for Thursday. Back here today, let's take a look outside live for your northwest side commute. I-65 near State Road 38. You can see traffic here is picking up, but it's traveling up to speed.
Apple says it's keeping production of its top computer here in the U.S. The tech giant announced it will continue to manufacture its new Mac Pro in Austin, Texas. Apple has been making the Mac Pro in Texas since 2013. Reports claim that the company was looking to move production to China due to trade wars as they need parts from China to make the computer. The Trump administration granted Apple an exemption from those tariffs over the weekend.
Here at 5:51, researchers have discovered a hidden continent on Earth, and it's buried under the southern Europe. They found it while reconstructing the evolution of the Mediterranean region, which stretches from Spain to Iran. The new continent is being called Greater Adria. It's about the size of Greenland, and researchers say that it broke off from North Africa and was buried under southern Europe about 140 million years ago. They say many tourists have probably visited it without even knowing it.
IHOP is releasing new spooky menu items for Halloween. After the break, a look at the Addams Family-inspired dishes.
Let Wickerworks design the best backyard style for you.
A fire department in California is celebrating the birth of 9 newborn babies with an adorable photo shoot. Take a look. The firefighters with Rancho Cucamonga Fire Department had the babies photographed with their firefighter gear and in other locations around the station. They posted these photos on Facebook saying, quote, "We are thrilled to see our RCFD fire family keep growing." Very sweet.
Oh, well, they're creepy and they're kooky, and they're the new inspiration for the new IHOP menu items. It's in honor of Halloween season and the new Addams Family movie. The restaurant chain added 4 new breakfast items named after the characters. There are Wednesday's web cakes, which are pancakes topped with chocolate syrup, white icing, and violet whipped cream. You can also get Gomez's green chili omelet, Uncle Fester's chocolate ice cream shake, or Morticia's haunted hot chocolate. Those menu items are available for a limited time through November 3rd.
I'm going to need one of those hot chocolates right about now, because not only is it 55 degrees outside, but it feels like it's 55 degrees here in our studio.
Maybe
right
30.
now.
I don't know. It's pretty chilly in here.
It's so cold.
And Todd, we know it's pretty cold outside. I mean, cold, I would say, compared to the 90s we've been used to here in September.
Yeah, you know, it's cool outside this morning, especially compared to, those temperatures. When we were getting into those 80s and 90s for afternoon highs, low temperatures were only getting down into the 70s. So it's a big difference, but it's actually not bad for this time of year when you look at where we should be with our normal overnight lows in the mid-50s. So we're at 51 in Bloomington this morning, 55 in Muncie as well as Indianapolis. Radar is completely quiet, and that's the way it stays throughout the entire day today. So it's beautiful from start to finish. Skies will be mostly sunny. The humidity remains low, and we'll look for a high temperature today, top off right around 79 degrees. There are some changes, though, heading our way if you're a fan of the warmer temperatures. More on that coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. Got to take a short break. We'll see you back on the flip side in just a few minutes.